Hey everybody, it's Chris back with another review for the Blue Collar Beer Gourmet. Today is Valentine's Day, and I hope you're having a good Valentine's Day, whether you're spending it with someone or you're spending it alone. Remember that if you are spending it alone, you are good enough on your own. You don't need someone else. And while it's nice to have a companion, it's not absolutely vital. There are worse things than being alone. So that's my little soapbox, and that's my little call out to anybody who's alone on this Valentine's Day. If you don't have a Valentine, I'll be your Valentine, okay? So tonight going to be reviewing, I know I'd said before that I've already finished off the San Diego selections. This is actually the final San Diego selection, and I promise you that this is the final bottle that I brought back from San Diego. But it is the Stone slash Lost Abbey collaboration. This is the Sticks and Stones Imperial Pilsner. It's dark Imperial Pilsner finished on wood, chips, and granite. Um, those of you who watch this program regularly know that Pilsner is one of my favorite varieties. Go ahead and give you the price point on this, although it's not a deal. It was $33 for this, how many ounces bottle we got here? Uh, 25.4 ounces of Pilsner. $33 for that. Picked it up at Stone in Escondido, California. Really great brewery. If my wife doesn't like beer, she has no use for beer. She still enjoyed walking around the grounds there. It's a really, really nice brewery. I highly recommend making the pilgrimage out there. So, went to Untapped where I discovered that zero of my friends have checked this in. It actually has less than 900 ratings. It has 864, giving it a cumulative score of 3.86, which is frankly, but I always like to look to see what other people say, but I don't let it influence whether I like the beer or not. And this has, so yeah, $33 for a 25.4 ounce bottle. This has an ABV of 8.3. This is some of the Stone Berlin groundbreaking collaborations. If I can read this really quickly. Before the meaning of the name is revealed, for that aha moment, we elaborate on the significance of the collaboration. Three Stone brewers gathered together with longtime friend and Lost Abbey brewmaster Tommy Arthur in Berlin. There they collaborate on a beer representative of our presence in Germany and craft beer crusade uh, we have been on and never lost sight of despite all the words of criticism. Okay, let's see here. Uh, Too aggressive, too many hops, too expensive, too impossible to break into centuries of German tradition. All that was just words. It didn't break us, and here we are 2 decades later with a foothold in Berlin and our fingertips on the international craft beer moment. In honor of that, we brewed a dark imperial lager with a German yeast strain, partially aged it with wooden chipsticks in stone granite barrels. Aha. This is series 4 of 4. Dark imperial lager. Special ingredients: German yeast, partially aged with wood chips and granite barrels. Tasting notes: an explosion of dark roast followed by oaky vanilla and clove, crisp and earthy. Aroma: roast earth and sweet oak, aromatic as a handful of the Black Forest. And pairings: Humboldt fog, cheese stuffed dates, glazed pork tenderloins, baklava, mushroom udon. Drink fresh or cellar. So you can do either one. This is fairly fresh. I did pick this up over the Thanksgiving holiday in 2017, but I still consider this fairly fresh. That's only December, January. So I mean, we're only looking at 3 months later. Um, okay, so got my Pilsner glass that Nancy got me from my bar set. And let's go ahead and crack this bad boy open. There's the cage. Let's slowly take off this. There we go. All right, let's see what we first get before we pour it. Well, I'm certainly smelling Pilsner yeast, that's for sure. Not smelling a whole lot else, to be honest with you. Smelling almost a little bit of mud. But they say it was going to be earthy, so let's uh, let's give it a shot, shall we? Let's see how it pours. And that is pouring a very dark. It's actually coming through darker on the camera than the beer itself. And there you have it. So it's coming through a very dark brown. I'm going to describe that as medium-high carbonation. Lots of carbonation like you would expect from a Pilsner. Very, very tiny bubbles. Very tiny bubbles. You can see that head, rather resilient, ain't going nowhere. Okay, now I smell alcohol. I do smell the forest. That's exactly what it smells like. It smells like woods and earth and trees and smells like your backpack after you've been through the woods. Um, so I can't really go into the notes on the bouquet because there aren't really that many. As you can see, the head is very resilient, not going anywhere. Let's uh, let's just dig in, shall we? That's a pretty good Pilsner. Has almost well, I'm definitely tasting the cloves as they mentioned on the bottle. I got the cloves. I've got malt, a little bit of sweetness. Um, hmm. I like it, but I gotta admit, for $33, I think it's a little overpriced. It's one of those things that you just had to, as I've said it before, I'll say it again. Sometimes you're gonna have to spend some money if you want to be actively involved in the hobby of craft beer. And this was one of those times I had to spend a little money. Now that is some remarkable lacing on there. You see that? You see that lacing all around? That is some pretty nice lacing, guys. I gotta say, I'm very happy with that lacing. This has the slightest bit of anise. I'm tasting a lot of chestnut actually, and believe it or not, I think I can actually taste the granite. There's sort of a, I don't know how else to describe it except as sort of a rocky component to it. Sticks and stones. Okay, there's the aha moment because I'm tasting wood and I'm tasting rock, and I'm really impressed with the lacing on this. Uh, while pilsners are in fact one of my favorite varieties, never quite understood the point of an imperial pilsner because a pilsner is supposed to be nice and light, and an imperial seems to kind of negate the whole purpose. But all in all, this is a pretty good beer, and I'm liking it, and I'm going to give it a 4.0. Um, I'm going to tell you right now, as a tried and true Pilsner fan, and I got to say, this is the first dark Pilsner I've had. But as a Pilsner fan, if you're a Pilsner fan like me, um, if you got, a spare 40 bucks you want to spend on a nice bottle, cool. Otherwise, I would not spend the money. I do like it. I just don't think it's worth what I paid. So, until next time, drink good beer. Don't break the bank doing it. And cheers.